Ni hao. The sacred space you are going to visit is one of the oldest belief systems that originated in East Asia. Go through the traveler's checklist to get ready for Daoism. These are your learning targets for today. The stories of the Filipino anti-hero Juan Tamad, Lazy John, are often told as object lessons to those who prefer the path of least resistance. Most of us have been taught that in order to achieve our aspirations, we must take the necessary steps and act. Is it always better to choose to take action? Is one going to later regret by simply letting things be? According to Taoism, there is wisdom to be found in non-action and that people are more likely to become unhappy when they choose to act and interfere with the way things are. Keep these questions in mind as we make our way through the sacred space of Taoism. The earliest religion of the people of China appears to be animist and polytheist, with many spirits controlling the universe. In this older and more popular view of the sacred space, the earth and sky are populated by personal spirits and thus all things have particular spirits or souls attached to them. And so, like human beings, all other beings have feelings and motivations and therefore must be treated with respect and care. The word Taoism is the older form of their religion. It emerged in the 6th century BCE in China. It is considered to be founded by Laozi or Lao Tzu, referred as Old Master or Lord by his disciples. To attain knowledge, add things every day. To attain wisdom, remove things every day. This phrase is taken from Tao Te Ching. Next to the Analects, the Tao Te Ching is the most influential piece of Chinese literature. Its main declaration is that all human achievements, especially elaborate government, are foolishness. It consists of slightly more than 5,000 words contained in 81 chapters and usually translated in poetic form. Probably the best known of all Chinese books, it has been translated more times than any other book in the world, except for the Judeo-Christian Bible with over 40 English translations. It is generally agreed that its content evolved over many centuries and came into its present form around the 4th century BCE. The Tao Te Ching focuses on the harmony of opposites within the peaceful flow of the Tao. It also adds the concept of the individual's relationship to nature and society, insisting that it is best to let things take their natural course. Aside from the Tao Te Ching, the other major fundamental Taoist text is the Zhuangzi or Chuangzi. That means Lord or Master Zhuang. It is named after its supposed author, the Taoist philosopher-poet Zhuangzi, who unlike most philosophers promoted carefree wandering and unity with the Tao by following nature. Zhuangzi is an anthology of often humorous or even irreverent accounts, epitomizing the carefree Taoist sage. Emphasizing freedom from human convention and spontaneity in action, its stories exhibit the pointlessness of differentiating between good and evil, death and life, human and natural. For the ancient philosophers of China, the universe operated as a balance between the yang and the yin. Except for the sun and the earth, everything in the universe was a combination of yang and yin. Yang is the positive force in nature manifested in light, warmth, dryness, and maleness, while the negative opposite yin is seen in darkness, cold, dampness, and femaleness. When these two forces work in harmony, life becomes what it should be. Intrinsically related to the concepts yang and yin is a mysterious and undefinable force called the Tao. It is also called way, path, or road, which is a harmonious union of these opposites. The Tao, as the ultimate source of all being, lies behind the basic unity underlying the universe. Being impersonal, the Tao is not seen as something that can be moved by prayers or sacrificial offerings. It is often compared to a relentlessly flowing body of water that can wear away the hardest stone. Consequently, it is futile to struggle against the Tao. It is better to yield and allow oneself to be guided by it. Taoism asserts that all striving for human achievement is foolish because it does not last, and that life alone is the greatest of all possessions. The seeking for pomp and glory, which usually causes disharmony in society, is to be despised. When one does not struggle to acquire education, wealth, power, and popularity, one can simply focus on enjoying the pleasure of being alive. Therefore, life is to be lived as simply and as quietly as possible, the ideal state characterized by childlike innocence. All striving for human achievement is foolish because it does not last, that life alone is the greatest of all possessions. Old age is preferred to beauty, because those who have lived long tend to know more about living well. Thus, Taoists do their best to find ways to prolong life and improve its quality. Humans are best when they remain as they were born. Through Wo Wei, or non-action, people are able to achieve more compared to those who assert themselves. Yang and yin are bound so closely together that pure yang and pure yin ultimately reverse. As soon as the extreme is reached, the situation reverts to its opposite. For example, disorder reverts to order, and then eventually returns to chaos. The best human being is a human being in harmony with nature and with the Tao. Unlike Christianity, which regards humanity as fallen and in need of divine help to be good, Taoism considers human beings to be, by nature, good. The problem for humans comes when they depart from the simple natural way of the universe that alienates them from the Tao and from other beings, living and non-living, human and non-human. Alienation occurs when one strives to have dominion over nature, altering the way of the universe and establishing contrived human organizations. Human civilization develops artificial needs and values foreign to the order of nature, seducing people away from the Tao, the true source of peace and harmony. Wu Wei, or non-action, is the Taoist formula for a good life. People can get into trouble trying to be good. The best ethical recommendation is to live and let live. The Wu-Wei approach to conflict solving can be seen in the practice of the Taoist martial art Tai Chi Chuan, the basic idea of which is to wear the opponent out either by sending his energy back at him or by deflecting it away in order to weaken his power, balance, and position for defense. Never is force opposed with force. Instead, it is overcome with yielding. To attain the Taoist ideal of longevity, one must be content with a diet rich in green leafy vegetables, herbs, spices, fungi, and mushrooms. One must live a balanced life, work with adequate rest and relaxation, and sedentary activity alternated with physical activity that is aerobic, non-competitive, and meditative. Sexual activity, while constrained by Confucian family and marital obligations, is considered natural and healthy. The principles of Feng Shui, or wind and water, a Chinese metaphysical system of achieving harmony with the surrounding environment, are also used in the sitting and construction of homes. One must contemplate nature in order to internalize the energies of the universe and live a healthy, lengthy, and meaningful life. The early adherents of philosophical Taoism, being more concerned about the quality of everyday life, showed little or no interest in deities or the afterlife and seemed to have no rituals for worship. Except for sectarian Taoism, rituals are not needed. However, charms, formulas, and psychoactive substances continue to be part of the folk Taoism. Many Taoists also find the symbol of the Tao, the yin-yang, helpful. Many Taoist temples and monasteries in China have become actively engaged in the environmentalist movement. The Taoist belief of the balance between opposites and the interdependence of all things suggests that the move toward so-called urban development will lead to an imbalance. Nature will sooner or later correct it through natural disasters. Zaijan, goodbye.